Welcome, my friends, to a new episode of CELTA Insider. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the written task. Well, actually, in the previous episode, we talked about the application. Now, what follows the application is what we call the written task. Someone might ask and say, but Shadi, why a written task? In the previous episode in the application, we noticed that there were about 3 or 2 written tasks. So why an additional written task? And my friends, remember that this application is for you to fill at home. So actually people at the CELTA Center don't know whether it was you who answered these questions or maybe you sought someone else's help. And that's why when you come to the center for the interview, directly before the interview, you sit for a written task. And this written task is actually invigilated. It's on the spot. And they can ask you any questions that they want. But most of the questions are around, of course, CELTA, teaching, experience, why you want to take this course. Tell us about a positive learning experience, a negative learning experience, and that kind of stuff. Well, actually, your opinions will not be very important in deciding whether you would join the course or not. But actually, this writing task is to check your level of English. So you might mention something that your tutor might disagree with in terms of opinions, but that's not very important. As long as you didn't say something that is, racist or something that is super weird. But they give you this task because they want to know whether you are at the C1 level or not. And let me tell you, my friend, that this writing task is very decisive when it comes to whether you will be accepted on the course or not. It is very important because this is how your tutor will know whether you're ready for the assignments on the course or not. Because remember, if you fail more than one assignment on the CELTA course, you fail the whole course, even if everything else is perfect. And that's why your tutor will pay a lot of attention to this written task. Nice. So in this episode, I'm not going to tell you how to write correctly because this is not the right place for this, right? This is something you might want to learn on an academic writing course. And I will be recommending a course and you will see it by the end of this video and you can go and learn more about it. But what I'm going to talk about, my friends, is actually why some tasks fail. Why some tasks are not accepted. And then we say to some applicants, sorry, we can't offer you a seat on this course. So let's see some bad examples, okay? Of written tasks so that you know why people might be rejected from joining a CELTA course. Let's go. And my friends, here is task number 1. And as you see, first, when you look at it, that doesn't look like handwriting of an English teacher. So let's read it together. First, I've heard. Now look at the spelling of heard. Come on. That's a very common English word. So if you're applying for a CELTA course and you don't know how to write the past of hear, then, hey, for God's sake, heard, that's a group of animals. It's not, the second conjugation of the verb hear. I've heard about this certificate from some of my friends who have got it, and they encourage me to step forward I need to be an efficient English teacher who can use different strategies to make the process of learning and teaching not only efficient but enjoyable too. I think this certificate can be, a good step. Look at this step. It's the article is too close to the noun that it looks like a new word, right? A good step on my way to be better, especially because I think that I'm still teaching. That is supposed to be present continuous here. So look at this. Look at how a traditional way is written. So as a CELTA tutor, when I look at this, I will say to myself, no way, this applicant can never be at the C1. I mean, because that cannot be a mistake made by a C1 applicant. Also, I'm still teach. That can never be made by a C1 candidate. And look also at the number of words. Most writing tasks in CELTA range from 200 up to 1,000 or 800. So this is also too little. However, it's not enough to reject a candidate because he didn't write as much. But still, this little paragraph has mistakes that can be made by a pre-intermediate student or an elementary student. So this, of course, would be rejected. Another one. Let's have a look at another writing task and go through it together. And let's see this one. So it seemed that this applicant wrote much more than the previous one. And okay, let's go. I need to take English course. Now, there is no a or an, so it's supposed to be I need to take an English course to develop myself and develop my language. I know how to read words from a dictionary, and its transcription. I have graduated from the Faculty of Education. Again, there is a problem with articles. From the Faculty of Education, English department, there is a problem with also punctuation. We need a comma in there after the Faculty of Education, English department. In 2006, I feel that I forgot how to pronounce letters correctly. I studied before in my faculty, but I forgot. There is a kind of repetition of vocabulary, which means that the range of vocabulary, the range of lexis used by this applicant is not that strong. I work as a teacher. Look at how a teacher is written. I mean, there's supposed to be a space between a and teacher. I work as a teacher of English for grade 1, 2, and 6 in primary school, in a primary school, not prime. Okay, so, but there are comments from my supervisor on my accent. So I searched to take a course to develop my pronunciation. I think after this course, I will develop my language and my teaching will be better. I need to work in an international school. I need to help my student, only one student, it's supposed to be my students, to read more correctly. So again, when we look at this also, that doesn't look like a C1 level of writing, of course. Yeah, I mean, this task is better than the previous one, but it's still, it wouldn't go up to a C1 for sure. So let's now go to another one, and let's check this one together. Let's read it. The teacher challenges in teaching. It's very hard to read what follows. The teacher challenges in teaching. Challenges what? We need an object here. And then we have this part that it's not clear at all. What is this? Is that I followed by it's, and what is that? Tests. So again, this part is not understandable. And the teacher strategies in motivating the students. What is this? There is no verb in here. The teacher is a noun. Okay, I suppose it's the subject. What about strategies? That's another noun. How come we have a clause in English language without a verb? In a qualitative approach, is that with a H? What is this? With face-to-face interviews, action research, narrative research. It seems that this applicant is just throwing big words, but there is no connection, there is no coherence, you can't understand what he's trying to talk about. It was found that the challenges of me as a teacher, and look at how A and teacher, okay, are too close. There's no space. Let's read that again. It was found that the challenges of me as a teacher were the students' expectations. Am I stupid here? I can't understand that. And then, out of nowhere, lack of effort from the students. Study time limitations, teachers' experience. I don't know. It sounds like this is note-taking. There is no coherence, no cohesion whatsoever. You can't understand a word, of course. That would never be an accepted writing task. Another one. I give you some examples of why some tasks are refused. Let's have a look at this one. And before I start reading, it looks too little, too few words. Most of the important schools now are not, I don't know what that is, hiring, but with wrong spelling. Are not hiring any teacher without one of these courses. And for me, TEFL is the most suitable one for me nowadays. So there is a repetition of, for me, which shows lack of vocabulary and redundancy. And also very, very too short answer. What's after TEFL? I am working on toto. I don't know what toto is, but he's saying trainer. Maybe these are supposed to be dots. Okay. Then I'm going to start CELTA. Those some of my reasons, misspelled, for taking the TEFL, and how would that reflected on, oh my God. So again, right, so enough of these examples, I believe. So my friends, to cut it short, know that what comes after your application is that the CELTA Center would give you a writing task, and it will be invigilated exactly like a test. And usually they will give you from 20 to half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how many words they want you to write. And as we said, sometimes the task will be from 200 words up to 1,000 or 800. And remember that, from my experience, this writing task is the most important part of this whole process. And I mean by the process, the application, the writing task, and the interview. the writing task is the most important, because you might be rejected just because of the writing task, end of story. So make sure that your writing is at C1, and if your writing is not at C1 now, then I advise you to join our academic writing course here at Britishy. It will help you so much becoming ready for the CELTA writing task. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this episode of CELTA Insider. And remember, I'll be down there in the comments. So if you have any question, don't hesitate to leave it in the comments. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.